Hi all. Right, just got the. Well, actually, I think there is something I'm going to adjust before we move on um, over to the other side. Just watch back on things. A few things I'm a bit annoyed about. Well, certainly one thing I'm annoyed about. Um, G3. Oh, yeah, I dealt with that already. And some things I started thinking about and also realised that maybe an alteration. I can't actually remember all the things. There was two or three, and I usually take a note, but I've not done it this time. Yeah, well, the thing I'm annoyed about, although there could be more than one, but certainly one of the things I'm annoyed about was why I didn't make an attack here with these guys, use them as the first division. And this tank was in range of this. Now, what we did with these two tanks was we attempted a barrage on this. I could have used, although this tank is out of range from there, I could have at least used that tank to make an attack. And then use these two, so that would have been 10 strength. And getting the tank, okay, it wouldn't have been a 3 away. Well, you know what, this tank's not 3 away either. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it would have been bringing the same, 2 strength less, but it would have been bringing the same weapons as what I'm going to do over there. And then I could have used that to barrage the other hex and stood a much better chance of the barrage. Yeah, that was silly. So now I'm down to, when it does come across to this side, do I take the chance with just the 8 strength attacking here? And then that means that hex is going to be kept up, or do I take the chance? Like I said, do I take the chance and not use the tank on that and use the tank to barrage, or do I just put everything into that? Bearing in mind it is an artillery position. I know it's not getting benefits, it's not getting terrain benefits. However, it is artillery, so is 8 enough? Possibly, if it was a 2 and a 2, it would be enough just to disrupt it, but I can see. Well, in actual fact, I reckon we're going to, if we don't have the weapons, we're going to see the depth marker. So worst case scenario is we have greater but not double without the weapons, which would be no effect. That's maybe bad enough though, isn't it? Anyway, I'm annoyed when I look back on that because, I could have used the one tank to barrage that, the one tank to support the attack there, and then if this barrage failed, obviously, which it did twice, use this tank to attempt a barrage there. Much better option. And didn't do it. Grr. Okay, I'm sure I'll think of the other things as I get to them. No doubt when I'm actually in the position. One thing I started panicking about though, but I've just had a look at the actions there, is, and I'm sure I've read something, so hopefully one of you can maybe see this, and before I actually get to it, maybe realise what I'm talking about and keep me right. And what it was, and I thought it was the ambush action, was I thought there was some action that didn't require a communication trace. Now, hang on here though. Maybe my mind's wandering to the other games, because I'm looking here and I can't see anything. It looks like everything needs to be in German communication for it to work. I'm just sure I read something. It might be something else. It might not be one of their actions. It might be something else within the game. Could it be that withdrawal thing or something for some? No, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like there's something niggling me saying there is something that you can get away with without tracing German communication, but I just looked through the actions there, and I don't think it is that. So, if any of you know maybe what I'm thinking about, let me know, please. What else was there? What else was there? Right, I had been looking at this situation a bit further, and I was thinking about making another move, because this guy does get a free move from the HQ, the command post, and you know, I had thought about it at first. I'd thought about moving one hex here because I talked about this, and then I thought, well, it's just the same as here, but it's not quite, because I can't move that second hex into the bocage because there's no road or trail into that one, whereas this one there is. So, but I never considered moving the two from now. Now, if I move the two from now, there's still everything's safe communication wise. Now, when it gets down in my next turn, I then spend. The extra risk here is we're then looking at a possible reinforcing purple. You know, you're taking two colours into the equation here, but if we can get into here and here, then is there anything stopping us from getting into here? Really? You know, there could be, and there might well end up being, but it's the last hex. It's the last hex before reaching that exit. And then, then if we control this road and it's safe enough, because this hex is quite important to take for this road, you would think, well, you can see it fires into it right the way all the four hexes it fires into it. So, I think, and yeah, so by me moving the two moves to here, all these hexes are still safe. There's no trace through here. There's no gap here. Now, when we do get in the next turn, we are forced then, well, not forced, but obliged, if you like, to move that into there and move that into there, assuming these two hexes stay empty. Then you do have this gap. But I had already talked about moving. All I needed to do, I think, was move this unit here. So let's just look. Let's just move that guy on. Right, I'm taking a chance here. Hopefully I'll remember. And let's just move that guy out one. Right? I believe that communication is still untraceable to all these hexes in here. Now, we do have to keep an eye on this. We've got this unit here and this here blocking the path through there as well. So we do need to watch this carefully. And then obviously this is an issue, but we'd be moving that unit into there. So, and that lets us take both of them. There's things that could go wrong with that, clearly. And if I do move this guy to, and like I've said with this one, which I thought was I was quite chuffed at my realisation that by moving it 2 just now would not let it retreat, but by moving it 1 just now would enable it to retreat if something reinforced here, or enable it to move the 2 into there. So I've had to do the reverse with this one. Unfortunately, he won't be able to retreat to complete safety, but at least he's getting out of that intense hex, if he needed to. So, that sounds pretty good, I think. I know we've found the situation, we've eventually realised how this advance actually does work. I made a bit of a mess of that at first, but I've realised that could end up advancing, but it needs to build the depth to start with. Okay, all it needs to get with that could be a depth marker or the resupply action. The resupply action, because it's got units in field of fire, it would build depth, then fire. Then we're starting to sort of worry about, okay, if it draws an A, a blue A next turn, then he's maybe trying to advance. So, but we might have time to maybe put something else into place for that. But the biggest downside in all this, and this is the thing that's making me wonder if I am going to make this move, is we're going to need a lot of actions because we're moving everything all over the place. And this is obviously the benefit to the command post branching out. But it's only moving into next turn, it only moves up to a 2 again. So these would all be fine for actions. That's good. this and this would not. So there's two of our actions right away. If we do this, we've got to spend, assuming these don't reinforce, well, actually, even if they do reinforce, because we might want to retreat the units. So we need two actions there. So this is what we've got to be careful about. Is there any other place we definitely want to spend an action? Well, maybe we're getting away with that, actually. I mean, the only one could possibly be here, couldn't it? And we moved this other guy up that took an action last turn. He's in command of the HQ now. Not quite sure what I'm doing with him. That was the other thing. I did talk about moving that unit underneath into that hex, and something bothers me about them sitting concentrated in that hex. There's some sort of thing that's saying I maybe shouldn't have that situation. And by moving them into here, this is the route of advance. That's still a route of advance hex for that, and it's still buildings, so it would be a safe place to put it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. But the thing is, there's no real harm in me putting that in that hex, so maybe I should just do it, just in case something crops up and I'm like, oh, if I'd only moved that out of there and that hex is concentrated now because I've done that, then, it's possible. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Because I don't think it does any harm whatsoever, me just moving this from here into here. And then, like I say, that's still on that route of advance. Well, I've still got that page open, actually, at the place. So yeah, all the hexes... In fact, let's squeeze it up on the map there. You can see it. It's that one in the middle. It's the one in the middle we're looking at. So every hex in that diagram is part of that route of advance. So that is that hex, that hex, that hex, that hex, that hex, that hex, and the one in the middle, obviously. So, and they're the ones that it looks at, and it would only be able to disrupt one of them, because one's a triangle, one's a diamond, and then the other one would have 7 strength, and that guy would not be able to do it. So, and now, just with moving that there, I know it's probably not required, but it does mean that these 2 hexes are not concentrated, just in case I'm missing something. Yeah. Okay, so what about this other one then? Well, I think we could do it then, because like I've said, the only other action I need is probably this guy. And right now, it might well be moving into here. Oh, here's the other thing to talk about. I noticed this was another thing. Yeah, they're going to come to me as I see them. I talked about next turn about moving this guy into here. Well, there's a sort of wee bright spark that happens, and then there's a sort of, oh, that's not quite going to work. And what it is I'm talking about moving this guy into here next turn, so I've created the flank. Now, if this guy undisrupts, I would need to disrupt it again with this 13 strength, which is fine. And, well, I'm not taking into account a drawing an event that says undisrupt all German units. Then it throws things up in the air and we don't know where we're at. But initially I thought, well, I'll put that there, that's creating the flank. Even if I have to disrupt it or not, well, I'll disrupt it first, then I move, so I don't have the infiltration move. But here, this is a trail. This is a trail up here, so I can actually go 1, 2. And like Martin pointed out, DD at Omaha Beach, unlike the other games apparently, you can move through steady fire. You can make a 2 hex move through steady fire if the unit is disrupted. And admittedly, I can't read any in the rules that says you can't. So now I'm thinking, yes, we've got this guy not only flanked, but he can't withdraw. And then I'm also then forgetting about the blockage withdrawal. So he can actually, I could do that one. He could withdraw into this hex. He's allowed to go into 1 blockage hex. So he could withdraw into there, and then his next hex can't be in an allied zone of control. An allied controlled hex, sorry. So he could go into there free, that's fine. And then he could go into there, and there's no allied unit no, yes, unit, sorry, got control of that hex and that's him away. So even by putting it there, we cannot trap that guy. So that's frustrating. That I told you that blockage, one blockage hex rule is. Hang on, he's had a shot on it. Is horrible. May just gonna have a look at it again. Yeah, it's just exactly as I explained it to you. As long as he's from the 352nd, which he is, he's got that other colour. So it's really hard to trap the guys. You know, if you look at it, he can not only can he go this way, he can actually go this way. He could trace into here, because this is a blockage hex for one blockage hex, and then he traces into there, and then he's away. So, in actual fact, I need another unit in here, and another unit in here, to prevent that from escaping. So you need 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, yeah, hang on. If these guys all moved round, we don't actually care about this side. Well, we probably do. Can he? Well, he can't trace down into there, but he could trace into this hex and then into here. Ooh, would he be able to have had a guy here though? Hmm. No, but you'd still need 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'd need a unit there, a unit there, and a unit there, and I think that would be enough. Because he could trace into there, but he couldn't go there. He could trace into there, but he's nowhere to go, and he could trace into there, and there's nowhere to go. Yeah, so that's where the 3 units would have to be to eliminate that guy. So, I mean, I don't know what's right there. Is it right that I should be thinking, keep that guy disrupted until you've got 3 units in this position before you attack him? And, well, hang on a second, Grant. Yeah, we don't know what that depth is as well, so that's a point as well. But he will just escape. Oops. So, there you go. We'll see what happens. I mean, if he undisrupts... See, if he doesn't undisrupt, then I could maybe go like this, and then go like this, and go like this, with the next turn intent on going into these 2 hexes and stopping them. I suppose that's the only way you can think about it, isn't it? That's the only way of trying to deal with it. If any of you have got an opinion on whether that should be my course of action, I guess I'm thinking you're probably going to come back and say, well, yeah, it probably is. If you can keep that guy disrupted comfortably and manoeuvre the guys round about, then it's worth it. But how many turns is that going to use up? And I think that was one of the things, whether it was Martin or John, pointed out that you've got to balance that between the two. You know, if it's going to take far too long to do it, then, you know, let him go back to the reinforcement pool and you'll see him again another day, you know. Okay. Right, we're 19 minutes in, you've not done anything, Grant. So, and I'm sure there might have been some things on the other side to discuss. Okay, so am I going to move that then? Well, I think, like I've just said, these are probably the only units. 1, 2, 3. There are only 3 actions I would need. We don't need anything from here because the engineer range is going to go up to 3 as well. So, that doesn't. Well, it doesn't command things on the high ground, but the general's beside these other guys anyway. So that's all fine and well. I mean, what I've just talked about though, that the only downside to all that is trying to get these guys around here is the general then has to move away from the tanks, you know, to get up beside where they guys are, or we are going to struggle for actions. So there is that. Okay. Is it worth the risk? Well, yeah, because we would only need the actions next turn. So I think so. I'm going to make a free move of this guy. A 2-hex free move. Into that. There's no German units got a field of fire into any of the 2 hexes. This is still safe. It can't trace through there. It can come through here, but it can't get through this gap here. That's important, but we just need to make sure. I mean, here's me. Oh, there you go. Here's me talking about doing that next turn. That opens up a gap here. So I don't want to do that. We need some more units, don't we? Although in saying that, this artillery will get up a bit. It's not... Oh yeah, well, that artillery moving up there will probably block that gap, won't it? So that's good, actually. Now, hold on. Controlling hexes on the high ground. You don't. Ooh. Oh, come on. Well, hang on, I control this hex. I never thought about that. Yeah, I've actually got to open that page. 12.11, a US unit in a beach pavilion or draw hex does not control adjacent hexes on the high ground. The reverse is not true. So if you're up high, it's fine. I'll need to watch that. But we are okay at the moment because he is controlling this hex and he is controlling this hex. These 2 hexes, basically. But he is not... This guy is not... Well, that guy's firing in there, but this guy is not controlling this hex. But if they were to try and trace through that, they couldn't, because he can't go through there, and he can't get through here because we are exerting control in there. But again, that needs to be carefully watched as well then. The whole high ground thing, yeah. Yeah, because like I've just said, this artillery moves into here next turn. I was saying it controls this hex, but it won't because it's down in the draw. So, yeah, chances may have to be taken with a C1 hex, I think, possibly. Right, okay. Right, just going to pause for a sec, look at that, and I think that'll be me done. Okay, I think I'm happy there, so just going to leave that at that. And I know there is a couple of risks here. But we could just as easily, like I've said, draw an event that says reinforce A, you know. It's going to be the same thing as being 2 away from the hexes. Well, yeah, maybe there is. I did go over the fact that it was so many R's on the last cards, wasn't there? And A's. And I started thinking, well, that's good. If we're getting through them all, there's maybe not going to be many left. You know what happens at the end of this turn? It's a reshuffle. So, yeah, we shuffle the cards. So, yeah, that's getting me wondering. Well, the thing is, you're only going to get an R on one colour, Grant. Oh, I'm gonna chance this. Because if I do that, we've got some nice moves into place. We take both these hexes, everything's secure. Yeah, I know things can go differently. Right, I'm going to stick with it. Right, that's it. It's done. We're over the other side. Okay, we have disruption here. Grr, that was stupid. I've already spoke about that though. But it was. Don't know what I was thinking about there. That looks like the only one. Yeah, because we had such a good result. And you know what? If we'd placed these in better, position. What was the fire card? It was a red diamond. Yeah, so if we had placed the diamond on landing in that hex, we wouldn't have ended up with any issues at all. But or even if we placed the diamond on this end, at least we would have only had one disrupted, you know. But however, that's it. Okay. Right, where do we start? Yeah, I was curious to know what was going to happen over here. Not so much with the blue position there, but because this red had was that a redeploy? Was that the yeah, that was the redeploy, and that just reinforced. That green does not fire into there. Does it fire into here? It does sporadically, yeah. So, alright. But this red fires steady into there. Oops, steady into there. But the thing is, I mean, this was huge as well. We moved this into intense orange and got away with this. You just feel like it's a three-way attack here, because that would be 12 strength. There's no, yeah, I can't be taking this on. We can hopefully get this guy up to the higher ground here, and then support an attack on that next turn. I mean, yes, if red does fire, then one of them could well be hit, but okay, so I think we stick with the orange position here, and see what happens. Okay, well, I think one thing we know for sure is this guy can just go and take this blue out, and we want that for the other engineer base, don't we? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So the hero attacks, he brings Bangalore's, and he adds the heat, adds the wild card of the Browning. So he's got, ooh, hang on. No, he can't do that, because he's equal. Equal, and we've got the weapons. That's just a disruption. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that now. That doesn't work. So we either need the tank or the ranged infantry, but I've just said I want to move the ranged infantry up. Well, should we have an attack at that orange first though and see what's going on? Just in case it's looking for a weapon that... Well, the only thing again that could come up is machine gun. And that would be an action there as well. To be spent on this guy. Well, where are our other actions? Oh. Yeah, they're quite possibly in here again, aren't they? Right, hang on, we need to be careful then, because we do only have 3 actions, and we've got kind of lots of things we want to do. Because if we're going to use the tank as well, that's an action this time. Yuck. Okay. Oh yeah. We need loads of actions. We could have done with the 4 this turn. Because we really want that tank. I mean, look at everything. There's lots of things we want to move. I mean, okay, but this could sit. This is a hero. We really need an action for that. That could sit, I suppose. Yeah, and then that's HQ can maybe help that guy out maybe. So we need an action for the tank, but we really need an action here to join this attack, and probably an action here. Again, we could leave this, I suppose, because that's our 3 actions. Right, and we can't not take this on. So something is not getting to do something important. It's probably going to be this again. So I'm hoping the guys aren't going to get hit again, or I'm going to feel even more stupid. Does this take this out? Because we already said that we've got this locked in as well, because there's no blockage in these two hexes. So he cannot escape. We need to flank, we need bazooka, we need 7 strength. Yeah, let's get this done. There's no mucking about there. That's an action. It's an attack of 8 strength. We are flanking, we are bringing the bazooka. So we have the weapons. It's 8 against 6. So we're greater than. Units eliminated. Now, he would attempt to try and escape, but he can't trace German communication, and he's not got blockage communication to sneak out into. So that was good. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad if they've not got the blockage round about them, but okay. Yeah, I think we have to use it. Well, do we have to use a tank? We've already said we could avoid. Okay. We don't need nothing for the blue attack though, do we? No, the tank will fire from the HQ and support that. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this has to be a second action. So we're attacking here. We're 6. Just taking the hex side there. They're okay, yeah. So 6. Yeah, we're not mucking about. Yeah, nah, he is. He can escape, can't he? Yeah. Because he can just trace into there. These guys don't have any control of that hex, so. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. If these guys were black symboled and did exert control into there, the fact that there's a German unit there, I don't think that means that it enables them to trace through it. That's sort of some of the rules from Enemy Action Ardennes coming in thinking that you might be able to trace through that, because that's what you can do within that game, but I don't recall hearing anything about that or reading anything about that for that matter. It just says of any length, the path may not pass through any hexes occupied or controlled by US units. Controlled by. Oh well, maybe. Don't tell me I'm not getting that right. Is that not the case then? Because we don't actually control that hex. US unit of any of the following types controls the hex it occupies. Oh, actually, right, hang on then, yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. Well, it says that a US unit of any of the following types controls the hex it occupies, and then a US unit of either of the following types controls the hex it occupies and the adjacent hexes around it. And that's like an infantry with 2 steps. Well, these don't, but if these were 2 steps, or one of them was, it would control that hex. And there's no talk about the fact that US control affects whether German communication can be traced to a German position or hex. German fields of fire affect whether US communication can be traced to a US unit or hex. Yeah, so that is right. It doesn't. There's no mention there that would matter. That there's a German unit in there. If we had a 2-step infantry unit there, but I don't think we can mess with this. We just take the chance with this one, and we go with this. So 6, 9, 12. We have 12 against his. Oh, he's a wimp again. Well, that was the good thing about him being just singly. We knew he was going to be a tactical reinforcement. Yeah. Okay. I feel like some of these guys are much easier than the blooming WNs. Okay, well we've got the weapons and we're wiping that guy out, so he's gone. So yeah, at least there's that. Oh, tell me red doesn't fire into there. It doesn't, right? Okay, because I want to move that into there, don't I? Yeah, definitely do want to do that. So it's going to be a concentrated, but brown. Ooh, brown could reoccupy, not reoccupy, it could reinforce, couldn't it? Because we already decided that communication is truthful, but you know what, it's just sporadic fire into there, and I need to get that guy into there so that next turn we might be able to have a go at this. I mean, it's going to be with 13 strength. We're maybe going to be lacking in some weapons, but... So... Right, that's going to happen. Then we don't... Yeah. I want to do this. But the tank is not going to matter. Right, okay, so this guy's attacking here. The tank actually brings the Browning anyway. He's going to support the fire. We have the weapons. We have 5 strength. We have greater than. We have the weapons. Ooh, that's going to be able to reoccupy too. So, do we... I was going to say, do we just attack and disrupt? No, we can't do that, can we? No. We would just have to, if anything, we would just have to leave that guy alone. What's the point in that, Grant? Well, I'm just thinking about it reoccupying, I suppose, but... Also, that's an annoying hex to, like, shut off communication to, isn't it? Yeah. You might just have to take your chances with that one, I think. I can't get anything into that hex, can I? Really? Well, I mean, yeah, but if it's going to be my hero, I don't want to leave him in there for too long. I suppose I could kind of switch places with one of these guys, maybe, at some sort of stage in it. I think it's silly not to take the attack on, though, isn't it? We've just got to take our chances. The good thing about it is, does it come back with depth? Reoccupy. 'Where are we? 16.1. If a WN position selected to perform this action is unoccupied by US and German units and can trace German communication, randomly draw a previously eliminated WN unit without artillery. That was my point. The fact that if whatever does come back, it's not going to be the stronger versions of them. You know that. Oh, it gets placed face up as well. If there are no such units available, the unit does not appear. The WN does not fire in a fire phase. It is reoccupied. There's no mention of depth as well. So, yeah, I think we're as well taking our chances with that then, really, aren't we? It doesn't fire. We get to see it when it comes back. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, he's gone. We have the weapons, we have greater than, he's gone. Right, so if he does happen to, then we'll just need to see what we get. The fact we've got a hero in that unit should make things better to tackle, you know. Okay. Right, where are we now then? Kind of feeling like the HQ needs to move, but he probably still does want to keep in touch with the tank. So that would move him in there, but then what are we doing with this guy? And are we doing this? So we still don't know the depth of this, do we? No. Yeah, so it's a bit of a dilemma. The thing is, this isn't such. I mean, if I just only hadn't done this. Because this is armoured. This is the only other thing in red fire. Even this unit, well, we've got a unit that might be landing. It's landing in here, so there's not even anything to worry about next turn. Why did I do this? Why? So, you know, apart from this, I mean, it is only going to disrupt them again. I mean, there's worse things. It does mean that they're going to have to play catch up, and are they going to have the HQ beside them? That's the question. Well, I'm just not decided what I'm going to do here yet. But this red position here, which is obviously the other choice of where we can place this last action, being the tank. Now we've got two options, like I say. We just go in with 8 strength here and use the tank here, or we use everything here. If we do that, then there's still risks when these units land that have taken a hit. Well, no, there's these guys too, isn't there? These guys are going to be sitting in steady red as well. This is the more important part. What is going to annoy me is if I take the gamble and just barrage this one and attack this one and it all goes wrong. I think this is where we should be looking though. Shows you typical. I've had twice. I've had 4 actions, and this is the one time. Where are we? Getting muddled up there. And this is the one time that I could do with the 4 actions. Mind you, I'm not saying that the turns before. No, I don't think I did use them all, did I? Anyway, last card in the box is not red, so. What is the worst thing that could happen here, though? I mean, if they've got 5 strength, if they've got 4 strength, we're fine. We're happy to disrupt it. That's fine. If they've got 5 strength and we don't have the weapons, which is a possibility if we don't come with a tank, then it's a bit of a blunder. This was the other thing I thought about. If we didn't use the action on this tank still has a free movement action. Oh no, he doesn't. I'm talking rubbish, yeah. Because this was just established, wasn't it? So it doesn't give him a free movement. So forget that thought. You know, I feel like I'd like to try and disrupt both these positions. This couple of blunders though. I mean, this blunder here should have clearly used this tank to support an attack, and these 2 guys and putting them in here. 2 silly mistakes. Okay, Grant, make your mind up. Come on, the clock's ticking. Okay, I think I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go for this position. I'm only going to use these 2 guys. So 8 strength. Just praying that they're either both 2s or we don't have the weapons for the unit. Because we don't have the weapons for the unit, we're not getting to the depth, and we can just disrupt it. That'll be that. Okay, I'm doing it. It is a 2 and it's a machine gun. Okay, that's good. It's good and bad because, oh no, that is good. Because the tank wasn't bringing the machine gun. We don't have a machine gun on these guys, do we? Oh, we do. Oh, okay. We do have the weapons. This is one of the range guys, obviously, down here. Okay. Well, as long as it's not a 3. So, we've got 8 strength against their 2, and we have the weapons, but there's depth. So, if it's a 2, just make it a 2. A 1 will do. And I'm pretty sure we had the radio there, the radio right on top. Yes. And we're doubling it. We're not only disrupting it, we're taking it out of there. We've got 8, they've got 3. We have, our strength is double, and we have the weapons. Turn 17 to 32, depth marker eliminated, and unit defeated. 8 against 3. I don't know, I feel like I'm missing something here. I guess it's just because we're going back to WN attacks that are... Yeah, we've got the weapons. MG, BG, RD. We've got 8 against 3. Yeah, he's gone. He's all gone. Wow. There you go. So, well, that worked. Here's me thinking, I don't have the machine gun, and now I'm thinking, right, I'm going to use the action to move the tank to get into range with a machine gun. Don't need that. Have the machine gun already. Well, I mean, we could still go back now and take this on, but I think to try and protect these guys from landing, a couple of decent units, you know, this is still gonna fire 4 times. So if the cover comes up, so I think we should take on a barrage. So our action there is, and it's not in red field of fire. It's within range of this, but we have units that are undisrupted. Ooh, that was a point. Could we ended up with an attacker's disrupted there? Then I would have looked stupid. Oh no, this guy's in red field of fire anyway as well, so he could observe for us. And they're in command of a general. So, and it's this is a 4 strength tank. Symbol's no good to us, but the colour is. So all we need to draw is a red. Come on, don't let us down. Yeah, you rat. After all that. Okay. Relax, right? Relax. Yeah, it always feels like a waste when you do that, especially when you could have spent the action better elsewhere. But that's the great thing about this game, is things like that you've got to make the decisions. And yeah, okay, well, this was great. Come on, we can't knock that. So can we follow that up with anything else clever? Well, this guy needs a bazooka, that's all we know. This guy's going to be landing adjacent to him though. So, I mean, even if he takes a hit, what is he? He does not bring bazooka. If I turn this over and this is a bloody bazooka, sorry, this one's not giving a bazooka, but that's not either. Oh, of course, he's one of the range ones. I think we decided they've got the exact same. Mind, I seem to look at 2 or 3 of them, and they had the exact same weapons when you hit them the first time. Um, okay, so we maybe don't need to rush in and across there. I mean, we can't really get into blue from here without a bit of a carry on, really, coming into this woods hex, and there's not a real issue with. Well, yeah, again, to start establishing a engineer base, there is, I suppose. And then, of course, we've found this slight problem here in which we might feel obliged to try and get this guy so they can't withdraw. So that might hold up a delay on us going for blue. So maybe we should consider... Well, I've no actions left. So all I can do is move this guy and this guy. We do have the other infantry units with HQ. Yeah, well, there's a couple of other things to consider still. Is there a 2-hex move? Not really. No, that's not occupied though, remember. Sorry, that is occupied. This position is occupied still. So we don't need to worry about that hex reoccupying. Yeah, there's not really any great things we can do with these two guys, I don't think. Yeah. Okay, here's a little bit of a thought. We're wanting to get this guy moving, and I can't do it this turn because I've no actions left, and unfortunately he's not in command. Okay, that's fine. But when I do get this guy moving, we're not really going to go in here. Because this draws a bit messy. If anything, we want to bring these guys up round the back. I suppose just bring them up that way, I'm not sure about going across the blue. I think we should probably leave that to these guys. But I dare say since we've started on the red here, we should try and finish it off and then go up that way. So what I mean is we're wanting to move this guy out of this double brown position, but we don't want to leave it unoccupied. So I'm thinking that this guy's also he's in sporadic red, admittedly, but just move him back into there and maybe leave him there. Or let's just put him there. He might actually pick up a free move from the engineer base at some point as well, because he is still down in the pavilion area. So the engineer base can, once it gets, it's a couple of turns away to pick that up, and then it could give it a move to... By that time we might have not then needed the tank, and the tank can come up the draw. Yeah, remember you don't control hexes up on the high ground. Well, we don't need that. We've got this hex controlled, so it doesn't matter about this. And remember, this blue position, this horrible blue position here, is firing into here. So it's not that we're trying to gain these two hexes. We just need to stop a reoccupy action in there, and that will do that. Even if this guy moves away. So yeah, quite like that. So what do we do with this guy? He's getting sporadic blue as well. He could 2-hex move to here. Ooh, he could actually then 2-hex move. Oh no, he couldn't. That's brown. Brown fires into there from there. So, yeah, he's not going to be able to reach this in 2 moves. I don't think. So is there any point trying to bring him down there? I mean, these guys that are coming on, that are landing, and this, which is which can move adjacent, these two which can move adjacent, is going to be enough to take that red out, I would have thought. So we need to find out what the next purpose is, I suppose, for this guy. I mean, this is a WM position up here. Oh, grand. I've just flipped it. Oh, you buffoon. What a silly thing to do. I've seen the number on it. I didn't see the weapons, but I've seen the number. It's quite easy to do with these counters. You just got to be a bit more careful. Okay, I'm going to have to try and put a grant fix into play here. Because I know the strength of that. That is unfair. So what can we do? Right, hang on. Well, the good thing is it's not a what am I trying to say? Artillery position. Okay. So I'm going to get all the eliminated units out. Now, do I want to consider some of the other units too, or does that really need? Do we really need to go into that? Like this one's unrevealed here, for instance. But this one here is revealed, so I can't really shuffle that back. And that's a rocket one, which is a specific unit. Well, I dare say I could. Oh, you got. Oh no, this is the one we're talking about, isn't it? It was a 1 as well. I don't know if you've seen it. It was just off camera, but it was a 1. Now I'm going to end up with a 2 or a 3 maybe. Okay, I'm going to take this one back as well. I mean, I obviously can't take the ones that are revealed back. This one's revealed, and this one's revealed. And I'm talking about shuffling them all in here and just randomising this and this again. I know this wasn't affected, but oh, should I not just leave that one then? Because that is as it is. Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? So I'm going to take this one back and I'm going to shuffle it in, but obviously we're not counting the 75s or the 88s. So they're out of the equation. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units here. Yeah, it would have been daft to shuffle that blue one in, wouldn't it? Because that would have then changed something that I didn't need to change, really. I guess I'm just trying to make it more random. As random as I can make it. Right, okay, I've given them a good shuffle about. So I'm going to pick one at random and put that back there, okay. Now, well, it's not that I was, where are we? It's not that I could see the units anyway. Wasn't looking. They're away they're in my box up the other end. But the thing is, if you get a reoccupy action, this is what I would have to do anyway. So what I will actually do is I'll just pile the WN units unrevealed that haven't got artillery on them, just in a pile at the side there, rather than put them back in the box so that I can't see anything or anything like that. So, well, what can you do, eh? I think we should have used the ASL rules there, Jim. I think they would have worked a treat. I'm not being funny as that, Jim, but you were being funny too. But that would be a perfect time to use it. Well, we'll just have to put it back. That's a 1. I might then go about with my tweezers everywhere, knocking units over. Right. So why were we talking about that unit anyway? Yeah, thinking about maybe this guy going up. Frightened to put my tweezers down now. I mean, he can't make a 2-hex move, but he could. I don't want to risk moving that guy out of there, though. He's holding that hex quite nicely. Oh, yeah, but here's a thought. This guy goes up to here. This guy 2-hex moves into here next turn. Yeah? And then next again, turn. Ooh. Yeah, well, I can't. Yeah, that's right. So next turn, this guy 2x moves into there. It just means this guy's got to sit there, I suppose. Well, you know what? He's better sitting there then. So 1, 2 hex move from the general, not entering blockage or enemy fields of fire. And then, assuming we've got an action next turn, a 2 hex move that into there. And I move that adjacent. And then we've got a nice wee setup to attack. Okay. That is still going to require an action to do that, and you've seen how struggling we were there, so... Okay, move on, Grant, move on. So we can't do anything with this guy. However, he is kind of holding that orange position at bay as well from... well, mind you, I don't think communication's traceable there, but I was frightened about leaving. I wanted to drop this guy back, didn't I? This hero unit. Because I just felt like he's got to wait. Well, hang on. What are these doing? Right, they can't move up over the... Well, the HQ could. That's sporadic red, but that's from there. Yeah, okay. Well, I suppose something like we move that guy into there. Well, I don't want to double them up now as well, because this could well fire again. If I put 2 hexes with concentrated, it just disrupt a whole lot of them. And maybe that guy into there then. And then... Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, I could put the HQ into there and then it's going to grab that guy next turn. But then again, that guy's... Like I say, he's got to watch what he gets up to. Well, he could start going up here. That would be fine, because we're heading up that way. We're going up for that. Well, I say we're going for the red. I mean, I suggested that we should maybe try and go for the purple first, because it looks safer, even though this is depth. It just, if we go straight up to that red, we're right in the intense. I mean, I know sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do that, but I don't know, it's a scary thought. We could just leave this guy behind just now and just move the HQ into there. And then next turn it grabs the guys anyway. What are we going to do with this guy then? I mean, he's sitting in... Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to go up towards the purple? I don't know. Of course, ooh, that's sitting in purple as well, isn't it? That's sitting in purple and green. Yeah, that's not in a great place, is it? It did take that out, so there is that. And communication is not traceable at that at the moment, but however, if this guy was to take a hit, it would be. Okay, okay, I think I'm going to go with the HQ going into here. And the hero unit... Yeah, it's probably got to go into there, isn't it? I know it's still steady red, but... Yeah, and then just try and hopefully red lets me... Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if you can ask for anything in the fire phase after that last fire phase you got, Grant. That one was huge, so... Okay, think I'm okay with that. Well, I don't have actions left, so I just need to look the general. I don't think there's any point me moving on Rua, is there? Nah. Nah, he can move next turn if need be. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. We're going to wait and see how these units land. Whoops. That'll be the edge of the table, Grant. We'll wait and see where they land and that, and decide what we're going to do about that when that happens. Yeah, okay. And of course that's going to be after the fire phase too. Right, so moving along here, what do we have left? These can't do nothing, we don't have an action for them. We've got this, the HQ, and that, well, it's mainly about this infantry, I think. I still probably want to just leave that guy there. I also want him to be in command of the HQ, because he is supplying this machine gun for here. Although it could come from the tank. Oh, no, it can't come from the tank, because the tank's 4 away. That does mean you're having to leave that HQ, doesn't it? Yeah, we don't have a machine gun. Well, we can't wait on the hero coming down. Let's hope that guy doesn't disrupt then. Although there's plenty of other stuff to disrupt before it reaches him, I think. Yeah, we'd need to be armoured too. Okay. But that means I need to leave the HQ. Right, what am I going to try and do here? I'm hoping for the best here. And it'd be nice to get something into there. I got that ranged infantry unit in there, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So 2-hex move. Grand toss. Can I not 2-hex move into there? I think I can. I can. That's not awful. I know it's moving things away from the HQ and we're going to be struggling for actions, but yeah, that makes this situation about not dealing with this guy worse now, doesn't it? So free move from the HQ. It's a nice hex to end up in, because this, like I said, this is in German communication, so it could easily reinforce. And at first I thought, well, just move in here and then move him in here, but we've got a unit to move. Yeah, we've got a unit to move into there. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to 1-2-hex. Now I'm not going through blockage, and we're not entering a German field of fire from an occupied hex. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Let's say the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that I'm moving units away from the HQ and they're going to have to require actions. But we have just brought another HQ on board, so hopefully that might... Yeah, we just need to keep this here, because... Now, does he need... He's the same as the tank, isn't he? He can support the fire if... Funny how you kind of forget these things, eh? So any of the following must be true. The unit is adjacent. No. The unit is adjacent to an attacking infantry. No. The unit is in command of an HQ. Well, if the HQ moves away, no. At least one attacking infantry is in command of an HQ. So that would be no, unless I chuck the HQ up here. Oh, well, yeah, I could put them in there. Does that help me though? Actually, hold on, maybe it does. I could 2-hex move the HQ into there. It's then going to command these, which at the moment require an action, and this, which requires an action. And the tank could still, admittedly, we need to use an action. Oh, it's a pity they weren't the other way about. We can move them both together. So here's the thing. We're gonna want to use an action on that next turn to move it into there. We want to do that. We don't care about these. These are rangers. Necessarily don't care about that. That's fine. And the ranged infantry we're happy to leave sitting, I would think. Well, all going well. No. I was just going to say, all going well, we'd like the ranged infantry to maybe have an attack on this because we've got 6 strength attacking it. That would require an action. So that would be 2 actions there. However, we wouldn't necessarily need to move the infantry if we were getting the attack. So it could just be 1 action. We wouldn't need an action for this because our HQ would be moving to there, like we've just said. We would need an action for this. We would probably not care about the tank. Ooh, there's another thought. We might be able to be building our engineer base in here, and if we build it right in the hex where the tank is, that gives a free movement action. What good does that do, Grant? Would want you move it into there, maybe? Beside that, and then... So if we're attacking this, we're more than likely going to have 8, 9, and have the weapons. And he is in blockage, isn't he? I also kind of feel that if I did 2x move the HQ into here, I know it might not sound right, but that would maybe be just far enough just to build a command post. Because, the turns are ticking on. That's a victory point, that is a victory point, and that's a victory point. So, there's some points to be gained over there, and then obviously this is the exit hex that Rangers want to go out on. So, we could start thinking that, and because, you know what, I'm looking up there at all this. Right, see, everything here, this orange is red, however, no. We do need to deal with this red, don't we? Yeah, we're actually moving up into there, but see this green in this purple position, and then to an extent this brown position behind? I don't think I care about them. I don't think I should be caring about them. So, admittedly, at the moment, this is a potential orange field of fire because this can trace German communications, so this orange hex at the moment. But if we get that infantry moved into it, then obviously then it's sound, and then we can build the HQ there. So, so what was I saying? There could be 1, 2. You would need an action for that. Sorry, I'm almost at the end, honestly. You would need an action for this. Wouldn't matter about the tank. You would need an action for one of them, definitely, at least one of them. I mean, you'd like to probably do the 2, but... So that's 2. What else have we got that you think would really require an action? This tank again, maybe? This infantry. Like we've just said, a nice wee 2 hex move up into there. Yeah, I want to do that. Don't care so much about this, and these guys are all surrounded by the HQ. This guy would be out of the equation, but... Jeez. I think it makes more sense though, because if I'm keeping the HQ there just to give this a free fire at that, I'm having to spend an action on that. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, Grant. Right, so am I doing anything with this? before I move the HQ. Well, I can't move it across the seawall. I don't want to move it back to the tank. I'd like them both to be together, but I need that to be in range. So, and it's sitting in range right now. So I think we make a 2-hex move. First one over the bluff. This is an HQ, remember, so it doesn't care about the bluff. It's into brown, which we've got covered. That's into brown and orange. Yes, that is that. And I think that is us. We have no actions left. I can't see anything that I could move that I've not moved apart from the general there. And we decided that, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think he's maybe, but I'm better leaving them, yeah, I'm better leaving them there because we want to get this infantry into here. So if I can leave them there, that might be the best place. Right, okay, I think that's a wrap. I think we've got it. Hour and 15. Okay, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be just under the hour and it stretched. Never, Grant. Never, surely. Okay, I'll just have a quick look and then I'll clear things up. Yeah, okay, I was happy with everything. So there's a final look at the picture. I'm just looking at the two different sectors. How this looks pretty amazing, and this is struggling away, really, isn't it? Like this big wall of German units, and yeah, not much in the way of disruption. Just a purple position here. Yeah, it looks okay, I think. I don't know. I mean, whether I should now be looking. That's us moving on to turn 21. There's a lot of turns still to come. I don't think I should be considering looking at victory points. But you know what? I possibly might need to browse it just to make sure that, you know, I'm saying that I might just ignore these positions here and here. Well, there's some victory points up there, and I don't know, I might need them. I don't know. How many do you need? These are some things that, look, I'll not keep the camera rolling and start looking at that, but it could be that I need to go further inland there because you actually need all these victory points. You know, you need so many. I'll have a look before we start the next episode, just to give myself some idea, maybe count some hexes. Well, it tells you how many there is, how many victory point hexes there are. But of course, there's other way of getting victory points. So the draws, I mean, weren't looking great at first, but you get 4 points for a draw. This one looks doable. Mind you, if I'm wanting the whole draw, I said I wasn't concerned about this guy, but if I do want to clear the draw, I do need to take him as well. This draw is actually starting to look like there's not that much, but there's just this brown position, so there is that. And then the little one we should be able to take and hold, I would think. Not so sure about this one though. So anyway, right, we can talk about that next time, Grant, because this is an hour and 18 minutes and counting. So okay, that's the end of turn 20. I moved everything on, moved the cards. Oh, the cards got a shuffle, so there's no discards. That's what I was saying about all the R's and A's up there. Well, they're on nicely shuffled back in, so hopefully the pinkies are still working well. And we'll get some of these nice events coming again. That's been great. It's been great since I moved into the extended game. The events have been really, really good for me. Most of them. And yeah, about to start turn 21. There is some stuff to land, so we'll get that. Don't know if we'll get back tonight. It's not late at night at the moment, so I might get the chance to get things started at least, but if not, don't have too much on tomorrow though, so fingers crossed. Right, I'll get away for now, guys, and I'll be back with turn 21 soon. Cheers.